Today on the Happy House, presented by Creative Kid Stuff, helpful hanging hacks from my favorite contractor, Rana. And then we are talking about pressure cookers. What's old is new again. And finally, we are back with our favorite scientist, Liz Heineke, with another really fun experiment for kids.
We're gonna take our nail, okay, let go of the end of it, and we're gonna see if we can use it to... Did you see that?
Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Happy. I learned early on things are much easier with a little help. I also have a few tricks of my own to share. It's go time, people. Welcome to the Happy House, presented by Creative Kid Stuff. Welcome back to the Happy House. Next, helpful hanging hacks brought to you by Supermoms. I'm back today with my favorite contractor, Rana, and we are going to talk about some helpful hanging hacks. Rana, a lot of times I've heard people do this. They'll wait for their husband or significant other to hang things, and I've always been sort of run and gun. I just do it myself, but there are some projects that are a little trickier that I'm not necessarily confident doing myself.
Yes.
So you are going to help me with some of those trickier things that involve studs and possibly screwing into metal, just all the things that are a little bit more intermediate or even advanced.
Correct. And along the way, I'm going to give you some shortcuts and some tips that I think really help me out in the field. And so I think passing them on to you, you'll love them. You'll just love them. One of my favorite little tips when you're trying to hang a picture is get yourself a paint stick.
Okay.
Get a big 5-gallon bucket paint stick. And the thing that's nice about this is you just come on down and you screw a little screw in, have the screw sticking out on this side.
Okay.
And then have a little pokey poke out on the back side.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Because when you hold your picture that's on a wire, put it on the screw, right? Come up here. I've got a line where I'm thinking
You want the top
the picture. Yep. So once you get it there,
Then I'm gonna guess here. Do I do this?
not quite.
No? Okay.
Well, because sometimes you might push through the canvas. So take your picture off.
Okay.
You've got this where you want it, and then push in. Boom, ba-da-doom.
And there it is.
Yep, so that marks where you want your picture to go, all right?
That is a tricky thing because a lot of times and we're gonna talk more about this later, but if I want two things to have the same top line to them, the wires or amount of wire might be different.
Right, so you're constantly having to take the measurement from the top of the wire to the top of the picture frame. This is just, it takes all those numbers away. You just visually look at it.
Yep.
When you're hanging pictures, things you need to consider. One, how heavy is it? Are you going into sheetrock? Are you going into plaster? There's different little tips along the way. So the easiest little hanger to use, and I affectionately refer to it as a fish hook. When you use fish hook, he's nice because all you have to do is find your spot, put it in, push it in, and voila, it's in. And these are actually pretty heavy duty.
Yeah. I've never seen one of these before. So this can't maybe go in a stud though, or can it? Because I'm
No.
saying, so what this is doing is anchoring itself on the sheetrock.
Correct.
Okay.
So advantage of this, super easy, the easiest one out there. Disadvantages, sometimes it gets a little wiggly jiggly. It might not be exactly where you want it,
Okay.
but very easy. The only thing you need to think about when using this is wherever you put your mark on your wall, from when we just had the paint stick back here, there is a drop of a 1/4 inch that this will hang a little bit lower
So it
than.
needs to go up a little bit. Okay.
The next one I call pin and hook.
Okay.
The thing I like about this one, it too needs no drill. It's a little bit more stable Mabel. However, when you go to put the pin in, the pin is just a little bit harder to push through the sheetrock than is the little hooky hook. All right, then we move on to drywall anchors, which this one is a metal one. The thing I like about the metal is if you accidentally hit a stud while you're screwing it in, the metal can go into the stud. You can also use both of these in plaster. You just need to pre-drill. The plastic one, pro is it's super easy as well. Con is unless you poke a hole in the sheetrock to begin with, sometimes the ends break off and you have to get a brand spanking new one.
Rana, when I go on some of my treasure hunting expeditions,
Yes, Happy.
I find things that I want to hang in my house, but they maybe aren't meant to be hung, and that oftentimes can get a little bit tricky. So I've got a challenge for you right now. Okay. And it is this beautiful window I found for free $99.
I love this. That's fantastic.
And I think it's going to look great in my living room.
So if you want to keep it as secure as you can possibly make it, they make these bar anchors, is what I like to call them. And they come with, there's a little level, and that guy will go into the part that goes on the wall. And the nice thing is there's all these holes. So you will take your stud finder, you will locate the stud, line this up with a stud. As long as this bar is smaller than
the width of the window?
Yep. This actually goes on your sheetrock.
Okay.
Then you put this one, line it up nice and level, and you put this one on the back of your window here, and then this will fit into this. And the nice thing is you have wiggle room to slide it to the left or to the right because this is level.
Right.
So you have a little wiggle room, you can move it around and hit dead center with it.
Okay. This, I've never seen one of these before. I love it.
I know, I love these. These are my favorite.
All right. Rana, another challenge I think a lot of people have, including our friend Lisa, is that they want to hang multiple items on a wall. So Lisa has some square tiles. There's 6 of them, and she wants them all perfectly aligned. And I think that that is really challenging to do, especially when you're spacing 6 separate things across a wall. So what are your tips on that?
So if you want more accuracy in your hanging, such as 6 different items, the first thing I would do is I would measure your wall. I would put tape out on the floor in the dimensions of your wall, and I would play with it. I would kind of just through trial and error, look and see what you find to be appealing.
Okay.
All right. Then once you know kind of your layout, find something, usually like, you know, the width of a paint stick in between each picture, something that's uniform that you don't have to sit there and use a tape measure for.
Okay.
Okay. The very first thing I would do is I would come to your actual wall when you're ready to hang. I'd run a piece of tape across the entire wall at the height about where you want the top of the picture.
And level it, right?
And put a level mark. So that's what we have right here.
Okay.
And then you use that and you can start, you know approximately where you want to go, and you do a little bit of math and you get your first one up there, you level it, you hang it.
Okay.
And then you put the width of the paint stick and then do the second one, right? Do one at a time.
Okay.
Don't just do them all and then decide to hang your picture.
Okay. Well, let's get started with this project for Lisa because we promised her we would do it. Up next on the Happy House, make a chicken in less than 30 minutes. Today's cooking segment is presented to you by Supermoms. Pressure cooking is all the rage these days, so I decided I need to investigate it for myself.
And then you can tell me all about it, because I don't know anything about it.
I mean, it is actually lots of fun. So I got my pressure cooker.
Okay.
There was more buttons on it than I really thought there would be. And honestly, it's kind of overwhelming in a way because there are certain ways you need to do things.
Okay.
But now that I've gotten acclimated to it, I can make fresh, fast meals for my family after work versus like a crock pot that goes all day, which I love. I'm a huge fan of the crock pot.
Right.
But I don't like have control.
time,
Yeah, because crock pots you set like for 8 hours or whatever, but when all is said and done, you're probably gone for 10.
Right.
So, I mean, you don't know what's
Yep.
going to happen when you get home.
Yep.
So I love this. And we are going to make today a chicken. Typically a chicken you would roast in the oven for a couple hours. I mean, a whole chicken. And this is going to take us about 30 to 40 minutes.
Much faster.
Much faster. And that is something I can do as soon as I get home. And then dinner's on the table within an
Great.
hour. So easy breezy. What we're going to do is basically season our chicken
Okay.
the way we would. And so I'm going to put some olive oil on there. And I always like to, I hate touching chicken, but I'm doing it. Taking one for
so
the team.
proud. I'm so proud.
okay.
You're very brave.
So I'm just going to put some olive oil and some Italian seasoning. And the great thing about this is you could,
It looks better already.
yes, I'm covering up the chicken.
looks quite good.
You can actually put any kind of seasoning on this you want. So whatever your blend is, the key is going to be with the liquid for the pressure cooking. So we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But anyways, I'm seasoning outside and then the inside. Again, not my favorite job. Peggy, you're lucky. You're not having to do this. Okay.
Taking one for the team.
I know. And then I'm going to just do a little salt and pepper. So basic. So then we're going to put our chicken in our pressure cooker. But first we need the
This.
pot that was in there.
The actual pot.
Yes.
Good idea.
And then I'm going to go ahead and pick up this chicken. Again, taking one for the team. And
Oh yeah.
put it in here. And then I'm going to pour 1 cup of broth in here.
Okay.
And we're going to put the lid on.
Looks like maybe this is the way.
Also, you want the vent on sealing. There's a venting and a sealing, so we put that on. And then this particular pressure cooker does have settings. So we're going to press the poultry setting, set it for 25 minutes, which is the recipe that I'm following or sort of the guideline. And honestly, there is so
You probably can't really
much.
mess it up.
Well, you can't
Right?
mess
I
it
mean,
up,
it's
but there's
forgiving, it's
so
moist.
much to look up about pressure cooking online. You can find so many recipes. They're very accessible. And what they'll talk about is cook time, pressure, how you vent it, but they're very specific about it. So it seems hard at first, but they're going to tell you exactly what to do in the recipe. So for this particular recipe, we're going to cook this on the poultry setting, high pressure, 25 minutes, and then let it vent naturally. So I won't release the steam for 10 minutes and pull it out and see what happens.
Can't wait to see it.
It's going to be delicious.
I bet.
All right, Peggy, we cooked this chicken for 25 minutes, let it naturally cool down or like release steam for 10, and it is ready. Can you smell it?
It does. It smells really good.
All right, so we're gonna pull it out.
Yep.
The thing about pressure cooking is you're not gonna get that like golden brown or that buttery roasted skin because we've basically just steamed this chicken. But
It's healthier too, though, isn't it?
it's much healthier. And the thing is, as opposed to doing like a crock pot chicken or like, and you just leave it all day for 8 hours and you don't know what's gonna happen when you come home, you have total control over this because it's start to finish. So we are going to pick this out of here. And it basically is pretty much,
Falling off the bone.
Yep. So then what I'm going to do, and honestly, sometimes I might make 2 of these on a Sunday and just
Will they both or back to back?
back to back probably because you don't want this to be too full.
Right.
But and then just take
So
all the
tender.
skin off,
Oh my gosh.
take all the meat off and use it for pulled chicken sandwiches, enchiladas, like whatever
tacos,
you want to make. Or honestly, serve it with mashed potatoes and vegetables. Soup would be good. I think we should have a little taste test.
Let's try it.
All right, here's the floor.
That's great.
And I'm gonna do this.
Oh, yeah.
It's really
So tender, juicy. You could use any
Perfect.
seasonings. Yep.
easy breezy. Yep.
If you want.
Thanks, Peggy. This was fun.
I'm gonna try this.
Do you have the pressure cooker bug? Share your recipes with us on Facebook at The Happi House and find us at thehappyhouse.com for more recipes and segments. Stay tuned. Up next on The Happi House, we're back with our favorite scientist, Liz Heineke, with another really fun experiment for kids. Are you girls having fun?
Yeah.
This week's science segment is presented by Supermoms. I'm with my friends Penelope and Evie today and our science friend Liz Heineke, and we are going to do an experiment where we take something that isn't magnetic and learn about how to make it magnetic.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, Liz. I
you
always
girls-
love what you bring.
Oh, well, we'll see. Hopefully this will work. With science, you never know. Sometimes it takes a few tries. So girls, first let's take these nails and let's show that they're not magnets, okay? Can you pick these up? See if you can pick up those metal paper clips. Now, if you do this experiment, make sure you don't buy the coated paper clips or they won't work.
Oh, like the colorful ones.
Yes, these are just normal metal. So the nails don't really pick them up, do they?
Can I try this? Can I try it real quick?
Okay, so do you girls know what magnets are?
Yes.
What are they?
Like something that sticks to metal.
Exactly. So it's usually something made out of metal, right?
That sticks to a different kind of metal.
Exactly. You are so smart.
One magnet is the north magnet, the south, and the other one is the south magnet. If you connect the south magnet to a south magnet, they don't stick. If the north and south magnets, they do stick. North and north magnets, they don't stick either.
You are so smart. They repel, right? They push each other away. That's because things that have the same charge push each other away, and things that have different charges attract, right? You are so smart. Oh my
We pay
goodness.
a lot for really smart talent on this show. Okay.
Okay, so the tiny particles that gives things a negative charge are called electrons. Can you say electrons?
Electron.
And what we are going to do is we are going to make the electrons in these metal nails all spin the same direction. And to do that, we need a battery. Because you know what batteries are good at doing? They're good at moving electrons around. So the first thing we need to do is make a wire path for our electrons to travel on. So you girls have already started wrapping. You can see we have wrapped, this is just doorbell wire.
I was just
that
going to
bought at
ask
the
you,
hardware store.
what kind of wire is this?
Doorbell wire. And I just separated the red and white strands.
There's different colors. Do they do different things? No.
No. These are the same. It's just so you can keep track of which is which. But what I've done is I've used scissors to strip the insulation off the ends of these. So you can see the ends are bare wire. I don't know if you can see that.
I gotta see this.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Can you see that? So, and I've made them into sort of little hooks because we're going to hook these onto our battery terminals, right? Okay, so the girls are wrapping. They're doing a great job. Could I see this for 1 second? They have wrapped these wires around really well. You want to do lots and lots of coils. You don't want to overlap. That's why I'm just fixing this one little thing.
So Penelope's done a really good job because you told me we cannot overlap. So she's got this nice and tight,
Yeah.
but it's not overlapping.
That's right. So we've got lots of coils here. We have a nice path for our electrons to travel on, right? Our negatively charged particles. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to hook. I'm going to let you hold this. Let me show you, and then you guys can try it, okay? So that keep the end of your nail free, because we need some metal to be our magnet, right?
Got it?
So see, this is the positive and negative terminals of our battery.
Which one's positive and which one's negative?
The one that is smaller is positive, it's marked, and the other one's
plus.
negative. But it doesn't matter. Yes, the idea is we just need one end hooked up to the positive. See how the little hook can hook on here? I'm gonna let you do this. I'm just gonna show you. And see how this one can hook on here? So you have to have them touching this. And the batteries can get a little warm, so just like supervise kids when they're doing this. And you can hook them so they stay on well. These aren't particularly hooked on well. So see how one is here and one is here? Can you help me move this over here? We're gonna take our nail, okay, let go of the end of it, and we're gonna see if we can use it to, did you see that? Are we picking up a paper clip? Can we pick up more than one, do you think?
Penelope, we're almost ready here. I gotta bend this a little bit more.
Oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? Do you want to try it now? So I'm going to take these off. Now, why don't you try it? So can you make this one go
Why
on here?
could I not do this? Okay.
It's just kind of, it's putsy, right? You just have to, you just have to get them hooked on there. Yep. And they just really have to be touching. They don't actually have to be hooked.
Okay.
So if you just have them both touching the positive and negative terminals, that's making a path for the electrons. They can
All right,
flow
I'm gonna
through the
try
wires.
this.
Okay.
I'm gonna try this.
Oh, the end of your nail isn't really showing, but we'll see. Oh, perfect. Yeah, just poke it out. Oh, look, ours is still magnetized. So see, once you have all the electrons in your nail spinning the same direction, your nail actually can stay magnetized for a while, even when it's not hooked up to the battery. Okay, try it. Go for it. It's working.
Look.
Yeah,
You want to try it?
It's just a little closer. Kids can totally figure this out and do it themselves. Like we're helping just to facilitate things.
It's a little fussy.
It's a little fussy, but kids are. I've done this with really young kids, and they're able to figure it out.
Are you making it happen?
Oh, she's got it. So how cool is that? We turned plain old metal nails into magnets using just a battery and some doorbell wire.
That is super fun.
Awesome.
So why are certain things magnets without a battery? Like how are things magnetic just to begin with?
Because I believe that some magnetic rocks and things just are made with, in a way they're formed so that all their electrons are spinning the same direction.
Got it.
So,
That's interesting.
And even the back.
but then again, I'm a microbiologist, so I'm sure there are a lot of details I'm leaving out. I do my best.
That's perfect. Hey, girls, did you have fun?
Yes.
Learning about science.
Right on. Good
Is
job,
it
girls.
sticking anymore?
Oh, then we have to hook it back.
It actually is still sticking. Yay! Thank you so much, Liz. If you want to learn more about this experiment and lots of other amazing experiments you can do with things right around your home, visit thekitchenpantryscientist.com. Like some lemon in here or put lemon on here, which I a lot of times want to do, but we're just keeping it simple today. Then we're going to take our chicken and just put it in the pressure cooker. And then actually they talk about that we need to wipe this thing out. They talk about that in the